So for a while now, I've been asked by friends, family, and some clients whether or not I own my own drone. And I've always sort of said to them the reason that why I don't own a drone is down to the fact that, you know, I didn't really think I would get too much use out of it. That was until I saw the DJI Mini 2. The Mini 2 is a pocket-sized, budget-friendly 4K drone that I think is an incredible story-making tool. Before I go any further with the video, I'm going to give you my usual spiel. I'm not going to go over the specs or all the features that this drone gives you. I'll leave all that to the experts. I'm just going to go over why I bought the drone, the things I'm going to use it for, and you know why it's took this long for me to decide to get into drone flying, and why I started with the DJI Mini 2. So I've always really enjoyed watching drone footage. I love the way that it can establish a scene, it can build emotion, and if used right, you can even immerse your audience into a specific location and really make them feel like they're there, give them a unique perspective of what it is you're trying to film. Like I'm sure most of you did when I saw the reviews flooding in for this drone, and when I saw that it was at such an affordable price point, I thought to myself, the fact that I could get something this small, this affordable, and it would allow me to get actual usable footage from a drone perspective, you know, I was really tempted at that point to pick one up. So I've had one for about a week now, and what I would say is that it's definitely an incredible story making tool. I like to tell stories in my videos. I mean, I think we all do, and I think a drone opens up a whole new avenue of ways to tell that story. So by finally picking up this drone, my plan for it is to use it to help me make better stories, better videos, and sort of just up the production value of all my work. So if that's something that you're looking to do, this may be something that you can add to your toolkit. So for me anyway, I think there's sort of two ways you can look at it. I think it's perfect for YouTube videos. The ability to just sort of take it anywhere, fling it up in the air, get a quick shot just like that, because it really is quick and easy to use. I think that's essential for this kind of content that we make on the internet, where we sometimes don't have a lot of time, things need to happen quickly. So I think having this, being able to literally pull it out of your pocket, fly it up in the air, I think like you can't really beat that. Another way to look at it is if you mainly do client work. I think being able to offer this aerial perspective to the clients, that's a real big plus for you. From my experience with working with clients, I usually find that they're really pleased with the option to have some sort of drone footage. Whether they use it or not, to be able to offer that to them is a big plus. And when you do use it, I find that they're always pretty happy with it because it gives them a unique perspective of whatever it is you're filming for them. So they're seeing something that they didn't really expect to see in the video, and that usually makes them pretty happy. So I definitely think if you're doing a lot of client work, some sort of drone's useful, but if you don't want to spend a hell of a lot of money on a big expensive drone, it's a great option to go with. Now I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of experience with other drones, so I'm not going to compare this to any other drones on the market, and I'm not going to tell you to buy this one over any other ones. But what I will say is, for someone like me, for picking up their first drone, basically taking it out of the box, I watched a few tutorials on how to set it up, and within like an hour or so, I was able to take it out, fly it up, get some shots, and it was really straightforward, which makes it a really good user experience for a first time drone flyer. If you're like me, I could recommend starting here because I think it's been a really good place for me to start anyway. A few key benefits of this drone as a beginner is that the fact that it's under 250 grams. Now, where I live, and I think a lot of other countries, if your drone's under 250 grams, you don't actually need a license to fly it, so you can see why that would be a big selling point. It's something you can get and start using straight away without having to worry about licenses, as long as you fly it safe, of course. It's also obviously extremely small and portable. Mine came in this nice carry bag which holds the controller, can hold the batteries, some accessories, and the drone itself. And it's really portable, but you know, you wouldn't even have to take this bag. You could literally just get the drone, the controller, maybe some spare batteries, or even the battery that's in the drone, and your phone to use as the screen, and then you're away. So if you could fit all this in your camera bag, then that's brilliant. It's one less bag to carry, and you've got like instant aerial shots, so you can't really beat that. Now, if you are trying to get the best looking shots with this drone possible, then there's a few things that you should consider. Number one being the timing when you're flying the drone. You're going to get the best light at sunrise or sunset when the sun is not directly above your head. So you do need adequate light to get the right settings. So, you know, early morning when the sun's starting to rise and things start getting bright, you might get the best shots, like some of the ones I'm showing you here. I've not tried flying this drone at night yet, but from what I've seen on YouTube, what I've heard online is it's not really that great in low light, so you got to keep that in mind as well. So like I said, think about when you're flying it, think about, you know, what the weather's like. Obviously the sky's going to look a bit more interesting if the sun's just breaking through the clouds and things like that. All these things will make your shots look from just sort of standard boring shots to something a bit more interesting for the viewer to watch. If you are going to shoot in direct sunlight, like you have to, and it's midday and it's really bright outside, then I would consider getting yourself some ND filters for the drone. You can pick these up fairly cheap. I picked up a 5-pack of, you know, different strengths of ND for pretty cheap off Amazon, and this allows you to get the most desirable shots even when it's really bright outside, without too much sunlight shining in and just completely blowing out your shot. So definitely get NDs if you haven't, if you're picking up this drone. The app also includes a handy histogram and zebras, so you can check your exposure and make sure nothing's blown out too much, because this drone only has one color profile. So I really would try your hardest to get the shot looking as correctly exposed and as nice looking as possible in camera when you're filming it, because you don't have too much wiggle room to bring any of the highlights back or bring any of the shadows back. So yeah, get it right in camera, and that way you'll get way better results when you put it into the editing software. Finally, I would really focus on your composition. You could really utilize foreground elements to make the shot a lot more dynamic, a lot more interesting to watch. For me, when you have the drone actually flying pretty low to the ground or flying past trees or through things, these tend to be the most interesting shots. But obviously with the nature of that kind of shot, these are a hell of a lot more risky to achieve. So I would keep in mind that the Mini 2 doesn't have sensors above it or at the sides. So you really need to be aware of what's around you. Make sure your flight path is clear if you're going to be flying past anything or under anything, because it will hit it and it will smash into 1,000 pieces and you will have a bad day. Honestly, I've had this drone for a week now, and I'm sat here wondering why it took me so long to pick one up and why it took me so long to get into drone flying in the first place. Another cool feature that the DJI app offers is quick shots, which basically allows you to load pre-programmed drone moves into your drone, hit start, and it basically just does the movement for you. There's a good few of these to pick from. They're all pretty interesting, different dynamic moves. So if you are someone that's not that great at flying the drone, or you just want to get some content of yourself, this is a good option for people who just want that quick shot. So yeah, that's just another cool thing that they've included that you could take advantage of if you wanted to. I don't want this to drag on for too long, so to sum up my thoughts on the drone, if you're someone like me who's looking to break into drone flying, to start putting drone footage in their videos, then I definitely think that the DJI Mini 2 is a good place to start. I don't think it's necessarily the most perfect drone in the world. It definitely has limitations, and if you compare it to other drones, yeah, you really see those limitations, but it seems to be an ideal tool to be able to get quick, usable, actual usable 4K drone footage in the smallest package ever, and for a really affordable price. I mean, look how small it actually is. It's absolutely tiny. It would literally fit in a pocket, in a glove compartment in someone's car. You can pretty much take it anywhere you like. If this is something that you think you could add to your camera bag or add to your video production, then there'll be a link in the description below. You can check it out and see if it's something that would be for you. That's all for this video. If you did enjoy it, then I would appreciate it if you left a like. And if you are new here, consider subscribing for more videos from myself. And I'll see you guys in the next one.